reached the surface chat. I think I missed it again. It keeps cutting me off. You've reached the surface chat. Today is July 19th. I'm Mandy Jones, a podcaster and stand-up comedian, and this is my show. It's episode 6 of the surface chat, and without further ado, I think I'm going to bring on my guest. I do want to, one actual ado. July 19th. Did I say it was July 19th?
Yes,
I said
did.
it was July 19th today, but it's not. Today's July 9th. And the reason I'm talking about July 19th is Saturday, July 19th, I'm going to be at a show. I'm going to be on a show at McGuire's in Bohemia, one of the governor's comedy clubs. And that's on July 19th. If you want to get tickets, go to govs.com. And also the link is in my bio always. Without further ado now, I'm going to bring on my guest for the night. We've been chatting already. We're going to keep it real light and fun. My friend and now yours, Mr. Benny Rizzuti. Let's let him hear it.
Hey,
Benny.
how you doing? How are you? Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thanks
when
for
you said
coming.
July 19th, I was like, boy, I'm late.
Yeah, geez. Well, I'm looking at my notes over here, and I got July 9th as the date to not forget, and then July 19th is my show, and I obviously I goofed on that one. Thanks for bringing your own cooler and your own beers. I appreciate
It was.
you,
I'm leaving the beers here too. I'm not taking them back with me.
All right, that's one way to do it. I appreciate that. I wanted to publicly thank you and your dear wife, Nancy, for always including me on your productions. I've been on comedy shows, podcasts with you. You guys always believe in me and see my.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're always coming to my open mics. You came to my old shows at my other place that I did.
The other place.
At Hopscotch. You guys came down there. You guys are always following me, and
I
appreciate that.
Yeah. No. And I perform at some of your.
Yeah.
Some of the open mics.
It's a give and take. I know. Last time the crowd was a little unruly.
They weren't into. That's tough in a bar.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a bar you get the crowd that wants the comedy and the entertainment. This particular night they did not. They did not, so I didn't go. I couldn't go up.
But you know what I realized? I told Jackie behind the bar to cut the music, and then it took me a second to set up. Every other time I've said cut the music, I'm right on the mic with it. So I think I killed the flow a little bit. I think Glenn was like, you got to do like a guitar riff or something when you first like you're at the open mic,
some kind of
change the vibe.
An intro, some kind of intro music.
Yeah, just
even something quick.
Just so people know, go smoke a cigarette outside if you don't want to listen, or quiet down a little bit. I don't know, but we'll get it.
I think this particular crowd, because I done that show 2 other times where it was great.
Yeah, and I think I've seen those actual same people enjoy it before, but maybe they just thought, I know the whole shtick.
One woman was retiring, so she's the
was
one
that
that had
what it
that
was?
tiara.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was like a party.
Yeah, I know. And then you don't want to be too, you don't want to throw people out. You know what I mean? What am I going to do? Start, going after people? That's not nice either.
No, you can't do that, especially in a bar, because a lot of those people are regulars in that bar.
Well, yeah, they'll turn on you, and that's not my style.
No.
They don't want to listen. Good riddance.
And that's why I just didn't go up, because I wasn't feeling it. I couldn't concentrate. Like there was the one guy, Jet Michaels. He just did his set.
Oh my God, he did great. He's so funny.
He is funny.
He really is funny. I was so happy that Glenn got to see him, because that's totally Glenn's humor, the totally dark humor. All right, so now that we know it's July 9th and not July 19th, and that I got a show on July 19th, you're going to go to govs.com and buy tickets.
And my son is on that show with you.
Yes, I just found this out. Benny's son, Ryan Rizzuti, is on that show also, so now you guys fucking definitely have to go. I have no excuse not to go. All right, so I got a lot of wacky questions here.
Okay.
And actually I did a lot of movie questions, because I know your son's a huge movie fan.
Right.
And I know does he try to see every movie that comes out, or what does he try to do?
He sees them. He already saw Superman 2 days ago.
Okay.
And it doesn't open till tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. How did he get that deal? He knows people.
He knows people.
All right. Well, he'll tell me
And
off air.
he's a member of some AMC movies or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
So he sometimes finds out they're having a special surprise screening. They don't tell you what the movie is. So he did that for Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's cool.
Like 10 days ago.
Okay.
And he did that for that. And then Superman, he got it in here.
So wait, is that a third new Jurassic Park then?
That's like the 5th or 6th.
Oh, Jesus.
Jurassic Park, something world.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. Have you ever seen
New World.
What is it?
New World. No, I said, have I ever seen what?
A movie in 4D.
4D? No.
Okay.
No, I never
That
have.
you gotta do. Actually, it was not as great as I thought it would be. It's a little bit. You got,
Is that where the room?
The seat was shaking. There was like a little bit of mist at one point.
Right.
I forget the name. I want to say the name of the movie is Lucy. It's what's her face as a. What is her name? Scarlett Johansson. She's like not a superhero, but superhuman. But I don't know. Anyways, the couple of times
the one, with where she was part of the Avengers.
It was something with her. I don't know if it was Lucy that we saw or the other one with her, Invisible. It's not called Invisible Girl, but anyways, it was in 4D and they had a couple of effects on the wall with the lighting and stuff, but it was too much almost.
Yeah.
So.
Ryan told me about that too.
It was
he showed me the room too in one of the theaters.
Maybe for a half hour or 45 minutes. Maybe just an episode of The Office in 4D. I don't know about a whole movie.
Certain movies in 3D too are dumb.
Yeah, that could be too much also.
Right.
Unless it's animated in 3D is somehow less abrasive. If that makes sense.
You know what was one of my favorite 3D movies? Avatar.
I love Avatar.
Avatar
honestly.
in 3D was great because you feel like you're in the forest.
They had you flying. The whole thing was very cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen asleep in the movie theater?
Yeah, but I kind of remember one time. When Ryan was young, he loved movies, and I used to love movies.
Yeah.
But then Ryan would, so we went to see the sequel to Peter Pan animated.
Oh God.
And I fell asleep in that. I remember that. It was like a Return to Neverland or something, right? You know the movie I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
And I fell asleep during that. I just couldn't stay awake.
Yeah, I know. And I actually love Peter Pan, and that's too far off the storyline for me. That one. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
Yes. I can't tell you what movie. I know Dick Tracy. I walked out on the end when I found out at the end who the villain was. And I walked out, and this guy with his children were like, "Dad, let's stay." And he's like, "The movie stinks." So I remember I walked out.
Oh, it was like a mass exodus. You guys all walked out.
Yeah, a lot of people walked out. It was very disappointing. Dick Tracy was. They were trying to cash in on the superhero craze that started from. The Michael Keaton Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
All of a sudden you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you had Dick Tracy.
Okay. I never saw that. I never saw Dick Tracy.
No? You're not missing anything.
I love the Batman. All the Batmans are great.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I'm a big fan of all the Batmans. I was before the first movie came out. I had all the Batman toys and there were all kinds of. I bought the movie when it came out on tape. I
love Dark Knight. I love the one with. I love them all. They're all great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Each villain's better than the next.
And I like the Val Kilmer one. I thought Val Kilmer was a good.
Yeah, we were just saying Glenn's that's his favorite.
Yeah?
Arguably. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a Chinese fire drill?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's when the driver and one of the passengers switch. You put the car in park and you switch drivers.
You put the car in park, though.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's not like while you're driving.
Yeah, we actually did it in the parking garage the other day.
I think I do that with Nancy every once in a while.
Every time she starts driving.
She's like, okay, you can drive. And then,
you're
pull
so
over,
good, you
pull
do
over.
it. Okay, so you do.
So with my wife, that happened. She drives. Nancy has to drive.
Okay. Oh, she's more calm and collect?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna agree with that. Yeah, because hi Nance, I'm sure she's more. Yeah, she's more calm and collect than I am.
She's a woman driving on Long Island. I doubt she's calm and collect.
Nancy was a school bus driver for
I think I knew
close
that.
to 25 years.
Okay.
So she's a professional,
Okay,
certified.
she's all business.
Yes.
Okay, my mom was a bus driver also for years. Did
Oh,
she drive Ryan?
Yes, but
Okay, that's cool.
because Ryan had to go. I was at work, so Ryan had to ride with her.
Yep. Me and my brother too. We would get on the bus with both my brothers actually with my mom over the years.
And had
Yeah.
and had to ride with so he had to ride with her.
Yeah, it's a
And,
big job. My mom would always say, like, I'm the first face they see in the morning, and I'm the last face they see at the end of the day. You know, my mom's very positive and stuff, so she's like, I have to be, you know, like, positive, make sure no one's getting bullied on my bus, and
Yeah.
you know, the bus is where the shit goes
Did your mom
down.
drive the big bus?
Yeah, the big bus. Yeah, I think
Nancy drove the small bus.
Yeah, I think she did do the little bus at one point, but yeah, the big bus.
Wow.
Yeah, and she had a couple crazy runs where like she drove kids from like Riverhead to like to their houses, like far. Like a couple kids that like went to Mercy High School and stuff.
Yeah.
She went like far with the big bus. So yeah, you learn something new every day. Traditional Twizzler or pull and peel?
I'm not big on the Twizzlers either.
No Twizzlers.
Not really, nah.
Okay.
Once in a while, I'm not,
Any candy like M&Ms?
I love Three Musketeers bars.
Okay.
The peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter
Which
cups.
Which shape?
What, the round?
The little ones?
The big, though. The big round ones. Not the little.
The original.
The original.
Okay.
The original. And I used to love the Chunkies.
Oh,
Chunky,
okay.
the big, when they were big and you would break them off.
And it was like a freaking brownie.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Three Musketeers bars is my
that's your
favorite. I love
go-to.
that soft chocolate on the inside and everything.
Yeah.
They're quite orgasmic. I think.
I think it was on this show, somebody told me their favorite was the Reese's peanut butter, whatever holiday. They said because they're fresher. They thought the holiday shaped ones, like, you know, the eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like those are too much peanut butter.
That's, I think, why they think they're fresher. I think there's more and less where the original cups have the hard chocolate around.
Okay, that's
but if
the
you get
difference.
the eggs, you get the pumpkins.
Yeah,
right there.
they do a bunny.
A bunny, they're
pretty
soft.
sure.
They're soft, right?
Just something to think about.
I like the hard. I'm a chocolate addict, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, do you like traditional fudge also, or are you more like a commercial candy kind of guy?
I like fudge. I like almost all kinds of chocolate. I like fudge. I used to like the big Hershey bars. I used to buy the big ones for like $1.50 or something.
Yeah.
And I would hide them in my room. And Nancy would say to Ryan, your dad is hiding chocolate. But I have diverticulosis, which becomes diverticulitis.
Yeah, okay.
So I had to stop with the chocolate. Like the dark chocolate was bothering. So
I didn't
had to
realize
stop with
that's one of the things that bothers it. I mean, I know it's nuts and seeds, right?
Nuts and seeds, they say, peanuts.
Yeah.
I love
okay.
cashews. I was going to Costco and buying a big bag of cashews. I was hiding them in the garage and that. And then
but it's not good
then I
for
would get
that.
attacked because my diverticulitis actually, I had to go to the hospital one time.
Oh, geez,
I had
yeah.
the flu, and then I had this horrible, like, gas pain, like somebody was stabbing the inside of my intestines.
Yeah.
And it turned out, they said I had a perforated colon. I had from the diverticulitis.
Oh, fuck.
And they were going to do emergency surgery.
Oh, geez.
But then they decided not to.
Yeah.
And then they gave me antibiotics and they put a port in. And this was just before COVID, like a year or so before COVID.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know
that. And so I had to ease up on all the... And I'm feeling a lot better now.
Yeah.
I'm good. They say they may never heal, but it's... Seeds are all right and stuff. Seeds on bread. If you keep your system flush, drink plenty of liquids.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, no, my friend, she's not an old woman. She's a young woman, and she has diverticulitis, and she had to get a surgery. And same thing, she had the port for antibiotics and stuff.
Right,
She's
yeah.
like, what the fuck? This is so fucked.
Well, you know how I would like to sue the Entenmann's company.
Okay.
Because I would like to sue Entenmann's because those big chocolate frosted donuts.
Yes.
I would buy them when I was single. I was a single man, and I would eat half the box with a glass of milk, and then go to bed, and then wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning and have to go to the bathroom very badly. And to me, it was just a routine. It's okay. I'll eat the other half of the box tomorrow with milk, and I'll wake up at 3 in the morning, and I'll do. But I didn't realize that when you eat after you and then go straight to bed, that's what happens is the food is not digesting.
Okay.
You didn't give your body enough time to digest. So it's rotting away inside your intestine, and it makes these craters. And
I'm a chronic eating in the middle of the night all the time. It's not good.
That's not good. That's a bad thing.
I know I wake up and I feel that I'm not hungry. I'm just I just want the sensation of crunching chips in my mouth.
That's so funny. See, I'm not a chips. You're a chips person?
Oh, yeah.
Nancy's chips. I'm not big on chips,
You'll eat an ice cream sundae piece of
Yeah,
cake.
yeah. Ice cream sundae. I stay away
cookies?
from Entenmann's donuts now. But cookies, yeah.
Are you cooking anything? Are you baking anything? Or what are you doing in the kitchen?
I'm frying stuff.
Oh, frying stuff. All right.
Yeah,
what do you like to make?
Sausages.
Okay.
I love sausages. Even now I'm on a chicken sausage kick. That's supposed to be better.
Okay.
And
cleaner. I don't know if maybe I probably had chicken sausage maybe, but I never particularly bought it on purpose.
yeah, no, we do.
All right. And what do you put?
Turkey.
What, peppers and sausage
I
and
buy
peppers?
it already made, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes make sausage. I love sausage and peppers.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Nancy's the better cook. I'm more of the hamburger helper kind of guy.
Okay.
Chili, yeah.
Okay. Chili.
I like, yeah.
All right. You make them in the crock pot, or you're doing that on the stove?
I do that on the stove.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Nancy does the crock pot.
Yeah.
And I make a sauce. I make a really good.
And I make a sauce.
I make a sauce. I make a nice sauce.
That was the Gagoots came out and said that.
Yeah, Alfredo Gagoots. We can talk about him in a minute.
And I will actually say when I told the Gagoots, when I said something about making you eat jar sauce, you and Joan St. Ange were like, jar sauce? That was actually Glenn's joke. He was like joking about the jar sauce. But what were you going to say? You were telling me something.
Okay, so I make a pretty good marinara sauce.
Okay.
Marinara meat sauce. And then I make a gagoot. You brought up the gagoots.
Yeah.
You know the gagoots is a very long green. It's in the squash family.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Very long green zucchini.
Oh, okay.
From Italy and Sicily. So I make a gagoot stew.
Okay.
To die for. I make a great gagoot stew that the recipe passed down from my aunt and my mom and everything.
Cool.
And my Aunt Marie gave me the recipe on how to make, and I try to make it every year.
All right. And where do you get the Gagoots?
I used to grow them.
Okay.
And that's where I came up with the Gagoots because everybody was calling me Benny Gagoots because I would grow them.
Okay.
And they're very long. They hang and they're very long. And I would grow them and then I cooked them. But now my garden this year is not too good. It's it's a lot of work too. But,
yeah.
So I might have a couple of Gagoots plants that are climbing. So maybe I'll get Gagoots. And and Gagoots is also, it's like a colloquial, it's like also used as a slang term for
gonads.
For a schwanz.
Oh, okay.
For a banana.
So what is it?
For a flesh banana.
So it's, what do you have to give it something to climb on? It's a vine?
Yeah, it's a vine.
Okay.
Right.
And
it gets
obviously
these
it's
really
strong.
pretty white flowers, which some people know how to make a soup out of the flowers. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
And there are people that use all parts of the plant, but then I get the actual Gagoots, the squash, and I peel it. I peel it. It's got big seeds inside, like sunflower seeds.
Okay. And
So
those
I
are
take
edible?
those.
Those are not.
I take them out. They could be edible, but I take them out for my stew.
Okay. Yeah, I love
And I
this
use
too.
potatoes and Italian string beans, the wide, fat string beans.
Are they green, the gagoots?
Well, yeah, the gagoots is green.
So is your stew green?
No, my stew looks like a sauce, because I also put a can of crushed tomatoes in there.
Oh, okay. It's
I
like
put
a
some
red.
tomatoes. So no, I'll send you a picture.
All right.
I'll send you. I have pictures of it because there's people who like to grow them, and then they're like, "Well, what do I do with it?"
Oh,
Some
okay.
people fry them like you fry eggplant and stuff.
Yeah.
But I make the stew, so I send them a picture of what it looks like, and I give them the recipe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They're delicious too.
Okay. Like
Okay.
a sweet? Like a sweet?
No, I wouldn't say like a sweet.
You said
Like
like zucchini?
Kind of, with a little bit of a bitter.
Oh,
There's
you
like
said
a
squash.
squash,
It's
yeah.
out of the squash family. you
Squash,
said.
zucchini type, yeah. It's
Okay. So
a
that's
little
usually
bit bitter.
mild, no? Like
Yeah.
Squash?
Oh, it's not like spicy or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to try it.
Yeah, you'll try the stew because I've been talking with another comic, Laura Patton. You know Laura Patton?
Yes. Yes.
She's Sicilian also.
Okay.
And so she's like, I make a better gagoot stew than you do.
Oh my God,
And
you guys gotta have
so
a
we're gonna
gagoots
and
cook-off.
Larry Izzo.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Larry Izzo does a show with cooking, so he wants to have me on as Alfredo Gagoots, and we're gonna cook the gagoot stew.
Oh, all
I
right.
make it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. If you guys do a chili cook-off, invite me. I wanna.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanna participate in a chili
You can come and
cook-off.
taste it. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
it's delicious.
What's your favorite arcade game?
Oh wow, arcade game. I'm trying to think. I was a big in pinball. I used to love pinball games. Arcade. Then you had Space Invaders, and I'm trying to, and that's the one. Pew pew pew. Right. And then, I'd have to say Pac-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have
All
to
right.
say.
Classic. Do you ever sit front row on a roller coaster?
No.
Yeah, no, me neither. I'm like,
No,
I'll
no.
ride like second or third row, but I'm not trying to. do
Yeah, I'll
this.
ride in the back with my eyes closed.
What's something you use often but would not replace if it broke?
Wow.
It's not a riddle.
It is kind of a riddle. It's like I expect the riddle of. Holy weird question, Batman. Yeah.
Anything?
It's something I wouldn't replace if it broke.
Yeah.
That I use all the time.
Not used all the time, but something you find useful. But just like, if your crock pot broke, you got a steamer lying around, anything that you like, could probably live without it. Air fryer, deep fryer.
I can't. I would get a new one if I liked the one. One thing I used to like when I was single, I had this. It was like a pancake waffle maker,
Oh, okay.
And you could reverse it, and it would have the flat ends. And I used to make my own grilled cheese sandwiches all the time.
Okay.
And then Nancy threw that out, and then we had another one. A little one that made grilled cheese, but I don't know where it is, so I'm living without it. But I really would love to have
So
one.
that's the opposite.
So that's
of
the okay. I'm living. It didn't break,
What's
but I would.
something that you wish you had?
That's something I wish I had because if I had something and it broke, I would replace it. I would
Okay.
get in there,
All
you
right.
know.
That brings me back to in college. Glenn had the George Foreman that had it was just flat for you could do grilled cheese. Then it had the quesadilla, the one that had like the little 8 triangles,
Right,
and
yeah.
then there was like 4 or 5 different like things that you could snap onto it. And it was a pretty handy little thing. He made like all sorts of stuff out of it. And we still have it. That thing's been on camping trips. It brings me back. We used to make a lot of quesadillas on that thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll
No,
have to
they-
whip it out one day. We'll do a...
They're great, but if something breaks on me, I'm an American. I'll get another one. You know.
I'm gonna make him a quesadilla, and we're gonna drink
How
out
about
of solo
you?
cups.
Tell me, is there something you had that broke?
No, is there anything? Well, you know, it's funny because I brought up the steamer. We bought a steamer offline. That's where you buy your stuff now. Bought it offline. It was broken, so we returned it. I got my money back, but I never bought another one. We're just like, I guess we're not steamer people. Like, I guess you just don't, you know.
See,
it's not for
I'm
us.
different. I'm different. Like you brought this up, and now I'm thinking of things. I'm like, used to have a juicer.
Oh yeah.
I don't have one anymore.
Okay.
I always say I would love to have another, and I
see,
never.
this is what I'm talking about.
But yeah, but I would like to get another juicer. Juicers are great.
Yeah, I got a blender and I got hooked on making smoothies. I was all about gotta make the perfect smoothie. I was reading online, you gotta have frozen fruit with the ice and you have to have the perfect. And then I haven't used it in a while. Maybe make some salsa with it or something.
That's funny.
I've been making a lot of cowboy caviar. You ever have that?
No.
It's like it's like a
Yeah,
it's like a salsa. You put all beans in it, and it's just you could eat it, you know, just cold out of the fridge.
Okay.
Very nice on a summer day. There's all different recipes. It's like, and then you do like make a little dressing with it. It's really good. But
Cowboy caviar.
yeah.
Suey. Well, I was thinking this. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got on that. Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Oh wow. Okay. Who I've ever met. I'm trying to think. I like a lot of writers.
Okay.
Ray Bradbury.
Who's that? What did he do?
He
What did
wrote
he write?
The Illustrated Man.
Okay.
He wrote the screenplay for the Moby Dick, the movie.
Okay.
Very famous science fiction author.
Okay. I don't read.
Yeah, okay. Another
Enough.
one is Harlan Ellison. Yeah,
Okay.
familiar with the story of Boy and His Dog?
No.
No, okay.
What's that novel?
Uh,
Or it's a
yeah, but they made a movie out of it with
Okay.
very young Don Johnson.
Okay.
Are you a Star Trek fan?
No.
Okay.
Did you
Something-
meet these people you knew you were going to meet them? Did you go to a book signing or something?
Yes,
or?
I went to conventions like
Okay.
Stony Brook University used to have a science fiction convention.
What?
About 30 years ago.
I'm a Stony Brook graduate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Glenn
All
and I
right.
both, yeah.
So I don't know. They called it the Icon.
Okay.
And they had these different conventions where they had a lot of writers and actors. I met Mr. Sulu from Star Trek.
Okay.
You know,
Okay,
George
cool.
Takei.
Okay.
I met Bill Mooney, Lost in Space, Will Robinson.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
All
I met
right.
him. I'm trying to think of the famous people. I love this actress, Catherine Mary Stewart. She was in a movie called Night of the Comet.
Okay.
It was two sisters, and this comet, the comet that wiped out the dinosaurs, came back and wiped out most of the people.
Okay.
And there are now some people are zombies, and her and her sister have Uzis, and so I met her. I was thrilled as hell to meet her, and actually got her to wear. I got her to wear a Benny Rizzuti fan club pin, and I have a picture of her pointing to the pin. She was so
my
much
God.
fun. She was a lot of great. And then here's one. I just met her in October. I was smitten with her. Frank Zappa's oldest daughter,
Oh, okay.
Moon Unit Zappa.
Okay.
I met Moon. She wrote a book recently,
Okay.
and she did a book signing at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington.
Okay, cool.
And the thing was, she had us watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
Oh my God.
the movie,
Yeah.
even though she was in the TV show. But she had us watch the movie
Okay.
because it's one of her favorite movies. Then she came and spoke, and then we'd go, and you bought the book. The book came with the price of admission.
Okay.
So then she would write something in the book.
Yeah.
So so she gave you she put a little Post-it inside every book and said, "What do you want her to write to you?" So I was thinking about it, and I'll tell you, this is a fun story. It happened in October. So I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, and I knew Moon Unit since she was born. You know, that's how old I am. And I was a Frank Zappa fan. Found out he had a daughter called a Moon Unit. The truth is, Unit is her middle name.
Okay.
She's not a moon unit like something you on the moon. Unit was her middle name because when she was born, they became a family unit.
Okay.
Gail and Frank.
Okay.
So now it's time to get her to sign it. And all of a sudden, this thing came to me, which I'll reveal in a minute. Came to me. I said to her the minute I had my turn, and it was just Moon and I said, Moon, I've been waiting your whole life for this moment. I said, and she laughed, and then I told her, I says, you talking about how your name Moon is so weird. I said, how about if you're a kid and they call you Benny, and they call you Benny for 5 or 6 years, and then when you're in first grade and you have to learn to write your name, you find out your name is not Benny. My name, my real name on my birth certificate is Pellegrino. Pellegrino Cosmo Rizzuti. But for some reason, Pellegrino, the Sicilians, even you write Pellegrino, but they call you Benny.
Okay.
And no one knows why. In certain areas of Sicily, no one knows why. And I told her that. So I told her, I want you to sign it to Pellegrino.
Okay.
And we're both Libras. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. So I had to write, Libras are the best. Love Moon, And I told her some of my jokes. We laughed.
Oh, very nice. Libra, what is that, August?
No, September.
Oh, September.
Late September.
Okay.
So middle September to October or something.
Okay.
But so we're both Libras. And
so it's not
Moon
just,
unit.
you're not the only one. Anyone Pellegrino is probably a Benny. Just
Sicilians,
like Richards or Dicks
and there
here.
were some Pellegrinos who still are called Pellegrino.
Okay.
Because I saw one time in the obituaries of Newsday, and there was like a Pellegrino Centurino or so,
Yeah.
And he was but they might have called him Benny. I mean, I didn't know the guy. So
they just didn't print that.
I have both of my grandfathers. So this is a funny thing. Both of my grandfathers. My mother always says, my mother was from Sicily. You were named after your father's father. But I'm like, but Mom, your father, he's a Pellegrino too. But no, you were named after your father's father.
That's
but
funny.
they were both Benny. So I have two grandpa Bennys, and their birth certificates was Pellegrino.
Right.
And then I have a few Uncle Bennys and Pellegrino. So I don't know. It was a long story. I've now worked it into my act. So I make it a lot longer. I have fun with it now.
And it was your dad had a different name, obviously.
Angelo.
Okay. So you're not.
My dad was Angelo.
Okay.
And I was my grandfather's third grandchild. So my father has an older sister.
Okay.
She named her kids Tommy and Bobby. And then since my mother didn't really know how to write in English yet, she was learning.
Yeah.
So when they enrolled me into school, it was my aunt that wrote friggin' Pellegrino down on so whenever there was a substitute teacher, there'd say Pellegrino Rizzuti, and everybody would laugh.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't at the time where now there's so many amazing, great names. There's so many, unnormal names. You have Shaquille and you have Zendaya.
Yeah.
And different. So Pellegrino, I would have fit right in with all of that.
Yeah.
Me and Kobe would have been pals, Me and Pellegrino. There was a time I was ashamed of it. Now I'm very proud of it.
Well, yeah. No, you got to be. Kids are just always want what they don't have, I guess. Because I always remember when they'd say, oh, Mandy Jones, that's an easy one. Because the teacher, I think the sub, whatever, felt some sort of relief. Then here's a name I could pronounce, probably right. And to me, I'm I'm not a Pellegrino. I'm not a special.
I'm Benny. My name's Benny. And then you get some idiots. One guy, Paul Pellegrino, like Paul Mall. What are you? You're a teacher. What are you, an idiot?
You fucking ass.
Yeah, right.
I always think about my cousin. He had a substitute, and the substitute was doing the spelling bee, not spelling bee, but when you do the words for the week.
Oh, okay.
And he's like rendezvous. And because the word was rendezvous, and the guy's like rendezvous, and my cousin thought it was the funniest thing because my cousin was like a smart 7-year-old or 8-year-old, whatever.
And he knew it was rendezvous. Yeah.
He's like, the guy pronounced it rendezvous. I'm like, I don't know. I just always think of that whenever I see that word.
And the word macabre, if you see the macabre,
What is
it's
that?
like
What do you mean?
macabre. You'll say, oh, this movie, they say the ending is very macabre,
Oh,
but it's macabre, very strange.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even know that word. Usually you hear it's like avant-garde ending.
Yeah.
Like who's your favorite character on Gilligan's Island? Other than Gilligan. No, it could be Gilligan if you want.
Yeah, no, other than Gilligan, that's good. Then I would have to say the professor.
Okay.
I would be like the professor. I wouldn't probably be as brilliant as him, but I would always try to get us back home.
Yeah,
somehow.
would you be as good looking? Yeah. Best golden ticket winner other than Charlie Bucket. I was on a kick with these ones, obviously.
This is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Best golden ticket winner. Charlie was the best golden ticket.
Yeah, all right. None others?
I only remember the girl that turned into a blueberry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Violet. You're turning violet, yeah. Violet. Fork or spoon with mac and cheese?
Fork and a spoon?
Or fork or a spoon to eat mac and cheese?
Strange you should say that. I do a fork a lot.
Me too. That's what I do.
I do a fork, and then I'm like, why don't I have a spoon?
No, a fork is more. You can get more accuracy.
Yeah, and you get the right
you get
prongs.
the noodle.
Get the noodle, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the right answer. Paper napkins or cloth napkins?
Cloth napkins.
Oh.
In a restaurant, cloth napkins.
Oh, okay. See, my dad insists that there's paper also. He doesn't really like He's like, he feels like you doesn't do a good job or something.
If I go to a restaurant, I prefer a cloth napkin. But if I'm ordering something that's going to be sloppy, then also pile on a bunch of paper. If it's something, if it's ribs or something that you're going to get sloppy, you need. But yeah, I'm a cloth. If I go in a restaurant, I want a cloth napkin.
All right. Harrison Ford in Star Wars or Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay. All right. When was the last time you swallowed a piece of gum?
10 years ago.
Okay. Not often.
No. I don't.
Do you chew gum?
Sometimes, yeah.
All right.
But I find a place to put it somewhere. Yeah.
Who would play you in a movie?
Oh, wow. Who would play me in a movie? No. Maybe Chris Pratt.
I love Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah.
Do you have too much shame or not enough shame?
It depends, right? Like right now I have no shame.
Okay.
But then if I'm sick and my mind starts wandering, I become ashamed of things that I did 50 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta let that go.
But my life has been people laugh at me for being like I didn't want to be in comedy. Comedy wanted me.
Yeah.
So some of my shame and stuff is stories that people love to talk about.
Yeah.
Remember when Benny Rizzuti did this? Remember when Benny Rizzuti smoked 30 joints by himself in a bathroom and then tried to drive a wheelchair home?
Classic Benny. Have you ever had a surprise party?
No.
Planned a surprise party?
Yes.
Been to a surprise party?
Yes.
Okay.
I like hat parties.
Okay.
When you want a theme party, I
didn't write that, but I was going to ask you what one of your theme parties was, because I was going to say when you have like a theme, when you have people that willing to participate, a good theme, a hat party.
Hat parties are very cool. One time, friends of mine did that, and then some other friends wanted to do a party, but they're like, oh, it's the same. I said, do a hat party.
Yeah.
And people come. Somebody came with a lampshade on their head with a light bulb with a battery and had it on. And I saw these. These girls dressed up like Heineken bottles, and they made bottle caps and there was 6 of them.
Oh, that's
so they were a
cute.
Heineken 6-pack.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And,
Hat parties are a lot of fun.
fun. Yeah,
Well,
there
my
you go.
Jerry Garcia hat.
Very nice. I want to do a 3-legged party where, you do a 3-legged race where you get tied to someone.
Yeah.
But like a 3-legged party, like you have to, someone who's relatively the same height as you that you get tied to for the night.
And you have to spend the whole night with. Oh
Yeah,
my.
maybe you let them untie for the best bathroom or whatever. But you ever do the
A handcuff party would be cool.
Oh, all right.
You could buy those fake.
We'll do the fuzzy ones.
No, not well if you want to, but yeah, you get handcuffs and
Okay.
you have a party and everybody has to be handcuffed to somebody.
All right, that's fun.
Yeah. All right.
Your son you ever do a theme party for your son or a kid's party?
When we first bought our house
Okay.
and Ryan was 9, we have a 2-car garage.
Nice.
At the time, it wasn't full of junk, so I turned it into. We did a Halloween haunted house.
Oh my God.
And we did that for 3 years in a row.
Oh my God.
We did a haunted house, and I had friends my age come. One friend of mine, he had chainsaws, and he took the chains off.
Oh my God.
So when you left, so you walked in one way, and then you walked into the second garage, which had a door.
Yeah.
And it was dark, and people were dressed up, and I had all these different the cauldron, the witch's cauldron.
Oh my
and
God.
I had all kind. I had
Brains.
brains, yes, brains. I had this rubber rat in a what do you call it? In a mouse trap, like a rat trap.
Yeah.
And he would squeak, and I had all
my
animated.
God.
So I did that 3 years in a row. I did.
That's
I
awesome.
did that, and then the kids got older, and Nancy said, "Stop doing it. They're getting violent now. They're boy, But I had fun doing that. I did that 3 years in a row, and it
That's
was fun.
awesome.
Ryan got all his classmates and stuff from school. A lot of people came
Yeah.
to see that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. My dad was always saying, like, when we'd go to the spooky walk and stuff as kids, he's like, well, how do you know there's not, like, a crazy person in there whenever the chainsaw's going and people
Yeah.
are screaming? Like, how do you know the person's not a freaking
Yeah.
psycho in there?
You don't know. And about 10 or so years ago, I did 2 shows in my backyard called Benstock.
Oh, my God.
And it was 2 comedy shows.
That's so much
I
fun.
called them Benstock. And I'd like to do it again. Nancy's not really in it, but I'd love to do it in the backyard.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right? And have like just a bunch of comics and we'll entertain each other. And
Yeah. Hell yeah. It doesn't take much.
and we could either barbecue or we could do pizza.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm
Tell me
okay
when,
with
I'm
pizza.
coming over.
Okay, cool.
Do you drink iced coffee?
No,
Do you drink any coffee?
no coffee.
Tea?
Tea, green tea. I love green
tea.
tea
Okay.
with honey, and I have mint in my backyard
Okay.
from my garden. Mint doesn't die; it grows So, like now in the summer, I'll make myself a cup of hot tea and go get some fresh mint and put the mint in there.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Hot tea, honey, and mint.
Nice. I didn't even know I liked green tea until just recently. I had
Well, I
green tea
couldn't
and
drink
milk.
coffee or the cream. The cream too. Milk bothers me now.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really, I stay away from milk, have ice cream every once in a while. I can't
Okay.
have ice cream every day.
Yeah.
Could have it like every other day. So I don't, and coffee just doesn't agree with me anymore.
Yeah. What are you eating? Vanilla ice cream? Chocolate ice cream? What are you doing?
I told you I love chocolate.
Oh, so chocolate ice cream.
Chocolate,
Okay.
sometimes a swirl, chocolate and vanilla soft serve.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See, because I consider chocolate ice cream like a different thing than just chocolate.
It's a flavor though.
It is, but
the
it's different than like milk chocolate. Kind of.
Kind of, I guess.
So
I love
now a cake-
pistachio ice cream too.
Oh, okay.
Pistachio is great.
They do a lot of things with pistachios nowadays.
Yeah.
Freaking pulverize it. And... line from a movie you say in everyday life.
Okay. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Okay.
What else I think of, because I'm trying to think of some of my favorite. And Indiana Jones. I'm making this up as I go along.
Oh, okay.
And I do say that a lot.
Yeah.
I say, I'm making this up as I go along. And I love Apocalypse Now every once in a while something may come up with that. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Apocalypse Now?
No.
One of the greatest war movies ever.
And you're not the only. Somebody else recently told me I got to watch that, so I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
Have you ever seen a Broadway play?
Yes.
Any favorites?
Wicked was great.
Oh, okay.
I could see Wicked again.
Okay.
Nancy and I saw the Michael Jackson.
I heard that's great.
So yeah, that
Okay.
was very good. The Michael
Okay.
MJ, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I saw Tommy by the Who,
Oh, okay.
Tommy the Rock Opera.
Okay.
I saw both productions. I saw the production 30 years ago with Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy wasn't thrilled. Nancy loves Broadway, and she's a big Broadway person. She didn't like that. You know, that's more of a rock opera. And then I saw it last year with Ryan.
Oh, great.
So I saw it with Nancy, and then I saw it with Ryan. Two different productions.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And yeah, that was really good. I mean, it's a Broadway show. It's not like traditional Broadway, you know.
Right. But that's some of the better stuff.
It was a musical.
Yeah. I've never, and there's not a film of that, is there? Of Tommy?
There is a film
There
of
is,
that.
okay.
There is.
Okay.
And that film is about 40-something years old.
Okay.
With Jack Nicholson's in it.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Who were in it. Roger Daltrey plays Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy.
Oh, all
Tommy
right.
the
I'm
Mo-
gonna have to look that up. And,
Look that up.
And does Quadrophenia have a film?
Yes, Quadrophenia is also a
because
film.
I've never seen that either.
I wasn't crazy about that. Maybe I'd have to go back and see that again.
Because I love
But if you want to see a really good documentary on the Who, The Kids Are All Right.
Oh, okay.
The Who, The Kids Are All Right, and
Okay.
it's all about the band. That's a really good. It shows up from when they first started to up until Keith Moon passed away, and I saw the movie a year or so after Keith Moon passed away. They released it.
We love all the rock biopic opera stuff. Anything about documentaries, anything about.
So before you ask me another question,
Yeah.
I just bought ticket for. I'm a Grateful Dead fan
Yeah.
too. They're re-releasing the Grateful Dead movie next month on
okay.
August 14th in IMAX.
Okay,
and
cool.
I got one ticket. Nobody wants to go with me, so I got one ticket to see it in the Deer Park Regal.
Oh, all right,
And
cool.
and it's the Grateful Dead movie, and it's going to be on IMAX, redone in 4K.
Okay.
So I can't wait. And I bought the ticket. I own the movie.
Oh my
I
God.
own the DVD, I watch it every once in a while. But I'm like, there are some movies I could go see on a big screen that I own the DVD. But if it's on a big, I could go see that.
Yeah. Ever see Rocky Horror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that. I did that midnight.
Yeah.
Used to do the midnight shows.
And ever dress up?
No, I never dressed up.
Yeah, no, I've never done that. I've never been to Rocky Horror.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. Good. Clean
Midnight
fun.
movies were a big deal before the VHS tapes, before you could buy a movie.
Oh yeah, I know. And people, like you said, people are still going to the movies quite a bit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
they're trying to get them. They're trying to get people to, because a lot of people watch. There are a lot of people that would like to watch it at home.
Yeah.
But they don't realize some movies are made for a big screen.
Yeah.
You know, the Indiana Jones, the Star Wars.
I don't really like scary stuff, but if you're gonna see something scary in the movies is when it's fun. Because then, especially then you go home and it didn't happen at your house.
And also
leave those monsters at the movie
you watch
theater.
it with an audience, and
That
the
too.
audience is, because The Exorcist is a perfect example.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
you saw that in the theater?
Saw that in the theater, and I saw it. I went to see it a second time with my friend Joe, and it was a wild, loud audience. They were yelling stuff when the movie first started, and Joe turns to me. He's like, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit here." I says, "Listen, once she gets possessed, everybody's gonna shut the hell up.
gonna
And
be
once she
worth
got
it.
possessed, everybody, that guy, the guy that was opening his mouth was like, "Did you see that man?" So it's fun, and I like seeing a horror movie. A horror movie I saw that came out last October that I love, Abigail.
Oh, is that? No, I'm thinking of the other one I'm thinking of Agatha it's not a Disney one.
No.
No, what's the girl's name? The funny actress that's in. I'm thinking of something different.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
what
What's
is it?
Abigail?
No,
Not
tell me.
is it a doll? Is Abigail a doll?
No, it's not a doll. It's not like that Megan doll. No.
Oh, that was kind of creepy.
Abigail is a 9-year-old girl who she's a ballerina and she does ballet, has a rich father. These people kidnap her.
Okay.
She's a vampire.
Okay.
So she's been around a long time. So now the house is locked, and she's going after all of them, and she plays Swan Lake.
Okay.
So you hear the Swan Lake, and she's doing the ballet, and then she's drinking their
people.
blood and they're killing people. I love that movie. I thought that was so much fun. I went with Ryan and I saw it.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
You said you saw The Exorcist twice. Any other movies you've seen multiple times?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
lots of movies.
What do you think you've seen the most?
Oof.
In theaters or out of theaters? I'll ask you. Movie you've seen the most.
Okay, the most in theaters?
Yeah.
All right. In theaters, there's two that I could think of that in theaters. There's Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
All right. And what was the other one? Apocalypse Now was the one I've seen. 2001 I've seen a lot of times. But
the number of times you saw it.
What?
I said the number of times you saw
Yeah,
it.
2001 times. But Apocalypse Now and the other one, so they're close, is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, classic.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest wound up because, like I said, I have a lot of friends. I have some relatives and what. So I saw it by myself. Then the following week, my buddy Joe, I mentioned, hey, let's see. Okay, so we saw it. Then I went another with a cousin and we saw it. So I remember seeing that like every week, every weekend. I saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Apocalypse Now. I just love, and then. They restored that, and they did a restoration and everything on that
Okay.
a couple of years ago. And Ryan surprised me and took me to see that on IMAX. So
right.
I've seen. So I would say they're neck and neck at least. Let's say close to 10 times in a movie theater.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, those are some numbers.
And there's quite a few movies I've seen a lot. In
Okay.
a movie. Yeah.
All right. Titanic.
Saw that, I think, twice in a movie theater.
Because that was the one people were like, I saw it 27 times. People saw it fucking
I saw
45 times.
Yeah. No, with me, no. But I saw young girls bringing boxes of tissues into the theater because they wanted to cry. They were going in there so they could cry. And as I told you, there was a time. See, I grew up in the time where if you didn't see the movie in a movie theater, it wasn't going to come on TV for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. You had
And
to
if it
get
came on
in.
TV, most of the time there were commercials. They might cut out great scenes.
Yeah.
So I had to go see it if I wanted to see it again. So One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Apocalypse Now, there was no tape. There was no VHS.
Yeah.
No DVD. So I had to go see it. I saw the Grateful Dead movie in the theater like 4 or 5 times.
Okay, cool.
You know, so most movies, if I like them, my mother saw Gone with the Wind. She
Yeah.
used to love Gone with, and she would jump every time at the one scene with the little girl on the pony.
I'm
if you remember, if you know
gonna tell you the truth. I never saw it.
you never said.
I
Well,
gotta watch that too.
now it's one of those movies that a lot of people consider very racist. Now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. No, I literally never even saw it. But yeah.
But
classic.
yeah, so that's why seeing a movie, Nancy's different. Nancy's like, I already saw it. What?
Yeah. We watch stuff just over and over again. Like we go to the, just Prime Video movies we own, and we actually been buying a lot of DVDs too because it's like you pay for all the streaming, but you don't know they change who owns what.
Right.
It's always like you gotta, and it always seems whatever we're looking for, it doesn't have. Like whatever, we're like, we looked up just the Austin Powers the other day. Those are all you got to pay extra. We're like, we pay for all these services. And then it turns out somehow what I want to watch isn't
Amazon does that.
I'm like, I think they know. Like,
I look up Amazon. It's like, oh, they got the movie. And then, no, you have to unlock and pay more than I'm paying.
For $6 we have it. It's like, thanks for nothing. Would you rather lose sleep or skip a meal?
I've done both. I think I'd rather skip a meal.
Wow.
Like going to bed hungry.
Okay.
I don't know. That's kind of.
I'm cranky when I don't eat.
Yeah.
So that's not really a meal from choice. Favorite kind of pizza?
Wow. Okay. Let's say half sausage.
Okay.
Cheese and half sausage.
Okay. Okay.
But pizza,
Chicken
come on.
sausage?
What was that?
I said chicken sausage.
No, it's got to be real sausage.
The real stuff. Have you ever attempted a magic trick?
No. I tried to make Nancy disappear, but it doesn't work.
No, when you're little, you don't have like a magic kit or anything?
No, Ryan had that stuff when he was young, but no, I never tried magic.
All right. Well, most performers, it's something we usually get to at some point.
Yeah, it's magic I did props. I was big into props.
Okay.
I had 2 rubber hammers. I used to bang them, and I said it was Polish ping pong.
Oh my God. Bring them to the next open mic. Bring your bag of tricks. How often do you go through a box of Staples?
Not that often.
Not anymore because you're retired now.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't an office guy anyway, so.
Okay, so never really.
No, I was
stapling.
a machinist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No paperwork for the machinist.
Yeah, but I go use somebody else's stapler. Bing.
It's never that serious.
Yeah.
Wayne's World or Dumb and Dumber?
I've got to tell you, Wayne's World I saw a long time ago. Dumb and Dumber I never really watched.
Okay,
so,
all right. I'm pro Wayne's World out of the two. But Dumb and Dumber's great also.
I know it is. I know it's a great comedy. I should watch it.
Some people aren't Jim Carrey fans though. Are you a Jim Carrey fan?
I am a Jim Carrey fan.
Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler?
I like them both. I'd say I'd go for Adam Sandler over Jim Carrey.
Okay. And would you ever consider putting mayo on a hot dog?
No.
It's actually very good. It's actually very good.
That's actually a joke I say to friends who, when we talk about Fire Island, and I say you go to Cherry Grove and you get mayo on your hot dog.
No,
so you don't get that?
No,
you
I
don't
never
get
heard
the
that
reference?
one. No, I do get the reference, but I never heard that one.
Yeah, well.
No, I didn't know that one. I remember at Fire Island, I saw outside one of the houses, it said Morning Woods was the name of the house, and I always thought that was pretty funny.
Everybody has, it used to be, I don't know anymore, I haven't been, I lived in Fire Island 30-something years ago. I lived there for 8 summers, and I managed a bar over in Ocean Bay Park.
Okay. So there's no cars out there, right, at all?
No.
Okay.
There's some vehicles, like people who work there have, they have the golf carts. Okay. And then there are trucks.
Yeah.
And you can, in season, you can't drive on the beach, but when the season's over, that's how they drive on the beach to get to the bridge. To the Robert Moses Bridge and come out.
So wait, you were only in the summers then?
I was only in the summer, but I was late. I would start like a few weeks before Memorial Day weekend, and then I would stay till late September. And then in Ocean Bay Park, they would shut the water off by October.
Okay.
Ocean Beach is like 2 towns over.
Yeah.
And they stay open year round, but there aren't that many people.
Yeah. I know. I got to get back out there. Fire Island's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but I forgot what I got sidetracked. I was talking about.
I don't know how we got on Fire Island. We were talking about how many staples you used. No, I don't remember.
Okay.
It was after that. Okay. I don't remember.
I know it was after the staples, but
Okay. Anything you want to ask me? Anything you want to say about yourself? Anything you want to promote?
I have two shows coming up.
Okay.
Okay, I have August 1st, my son Ryan is producing a show at the Giggle Room.
Oh, awesome.
And August 1st, it's a Friday night.
Okay.
And it's called You Paid for This.
Okay.
Ryan Rizzuti presents You Paid for This. City comics, because Ryan is a city comic.
Okay.
So it's all city comics. Janice Massetti
cool.
is going to headline. He's a city guy. Joe Pontillo.
Oh, yeah. Joe's hilarious.
Joe Pontillo and a bunch of comedians that Ryan works with.
Awesome.
And I'm on that show.
Awesome.
So I'm doing a little time. And then September 27th, because my birthday is the 25th.
Okay.
The 27th, Benny's 70th birthday bash.
Holy cow. That's going to be
So
awesome.
I'm doing that on a Saturday night at the Giggle Room.
Okay.
September 27th.
Okay, so
That's
Govs.com, the Giggle Room, the 27th of September, you said?
27th and
August 1st.
August
Okay.
1st to Friday.
Or Govs.com, check out on July 19th, get some tickets.
Yeah,
some
to see
tickets to see me on July, and Benny, and Ryan there. Benny Jr. You were great. This was fun.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
That's
a lot
our
of people
time,
don't want me on their
No,
podcast. I don't
you
know.
always have me on your stuff. We had fun. Good, clean
We
fun.
do, yes.
All right, that's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's
Bye.
That's the show, guys. Thanks. Woo.
Woo.